What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol TTWO for Take-Two Interactive. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, we have not talked about this stock on the channel, but I did have this random level. We're going to clear that up, and of course, the big news here is that they're going to buy out Zynga, and of course, when that happens, the company that's doing the buyout usually gaps down, and the company that's being bought out usually gaps up. And we did cover Zynga today, so go check out that video if you're interested. So is this a good or bad deal for Take-Two? No one can really say for sure. However, the chart aggressively gapping down and then continuing lower instead of rebounding, with investors thinking that this is a good thing for the company, it just wasn't there today. So what I do want to do is just stick to what we always do, which of course is the daily roadmap, just coming in and pointing out the most obvious areas of support and resistance. We certainly want to make note of that gap. I'm leaving the chart zoomed out a little bit so we can just see some of the broader levels, and where they're coming from. Certainly this catches my eye also. So that's kind of it from the daily perspective above us. To the downside, we are going to have to fish for a little bit more time here. We'll go with a 5-year chart. And what do we have for underneath? Certainly this prior breakout point. Again, resistance, once broken, kind of led to that breakout here. And then this would be my next up at 125.36, coming from resistance, then turning to support on that little pullback. Let me zoom in so you can see. Again, pullback here, supported at it, prior resistance there, chopped around it in here. So just roughly 125 would be my next downside level. So that's going to kind of wrap up, again, the daily roadmap, if you will. Let's zoom in a little bit more on the more current price action, just so we can have it on our radar here and take a closer look at the 30-minute, right? So certainly, a bearish day, no doubt about it. A little bit of a pop, but ultimately fading off lower into the afternoon. I'm not entirely convinced that all the consolidation is underneath the 38.2, but let's just see where we made it in relationship to those Fibonacci numbers. So coming in from the high down to the first low, this one certainly was. So this little dead cat bounce right here, well underneath your 38.2. This time coming in from the high down to the true low of day. And what you'll notice is that, yes, actually, this is still underneath your 38.2. All of this is, some pretty decent acceptance under the 38.2. The only thing is that we're starting to test it in the last 30-minute bar of the day. And, I wouldn't put too much emphasis into that. We really didn't get enough time afterwards to determine whether or not this is a true bullish move. And of course, it's the after hours now. So I would start to use this as a pivot, and it's also structural, right? So not only is it the Fibonacci number, but it is the little dead cat bounce high that we saw initially. I'm going to clean up the fibs now just so it's easier to look at. Anything that happens down below is just bear flag consolidation. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We would look for, bearish underneath the lows, probably this flush point right around in here. That's going to be around 139. If it breaks, looking for 133.66. You saw where that came from on the daily. If it's going to be back long, it wouldn't be a long over 142 in my estimation. I would really want to see more evidence that this is going to move higher. And for me, again, it's not really worth trading and taking that gamble in here. The only long trade for me, at least, and what I would feel comfortable talking about would be for the gap above to start filling, and that's up and over 150.60. Now, yes, there's a lot of deltas in here. There's a lot of work to be done before that even comes onto our radar, but I want to know for sure. I want to have more confidence in this before I take a stab long on it, given the aggressive nature of the gap down and the fact that I'm not entirely sure whether or not that Zynga deal is a good deal or not. Again, I'm not an expert in fundamental analysis. That's not my wheelhouse. I will let the price levels guide me and let price and volume literally tell me if we're accepting into the gap or not, right? And there's no reason to be speculating long. So that's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.